a rainy day.
Yes, it's very unfortunate. We're currently on a... What do you want me to say?
Just waiting for something.
We're currently on our way to buy a pretty special car. And this
Maybe.
one, yeah, we're going to go look at it. But this is going to be another one of those cool, kind of undiscovered gems, you know, worthless whip.
So we had to drive about an hour and a half
Always,
from where we are.
always.
Every single time. We seriously always try to look for local cars and we never find anything close to it.
There's nothing ever cool near where we live, but
That's
we're
true.
changing that because we're bringing the cool.
Is that
Yeah.
yeah, we're migrating all the cool cars to where we live.
Yeah, we're like collecting them all in one spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily have high hopes about this car because it's very cheap. And it wasn't actually registered in state.
Oh, where was it
It
registered?
was in Oregon,
Yeah.
and he moved to Southern California, and he hasn't gotten the car registered since. So
Great.
I'm
That
not
means-
keen on that, but it makes it a lot cheaper,
Sure.
and we have to keep it within a reasonable budget for the show. So we could have sprung and got like a really nice version of this car, but there's no way. Like the whole point is that you guys can afford it out there.
Exactly. So again, we're looking for a cool car that would make you feel a little bit special if you're kind of like a high schooler or something. A small budget, you want to go get a cool car. So yeah, just check it out.
Let's see if we're horribly disappointed and have to drive another hour and a half back home without a car.
Yep.
So when we showed up, we were pleasantly surprised to find out that not only was the car that we were looking for in perfect shape, it was also a famous car. Welcome to the 2006 Crown Victoria P71 Detective Car Edition. This was an unmarked detective car. It was used in active duty. Also, after it was retired from the police force, it was bought up by a company that sponsors cars for different movies and TV shows, and this was the police car in the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you guys have ever seen that, it's a police comedy. It's a great show. But it was really crazy to go actually talk to the guy who owns the company, and when he told us this, we looked it up, and in fact, it was absolutely in the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine in multiple episodes. So it's really, really cool. A little bit of an accolade. He also gave us a great deal. We ended up paying $3,500 for it, and everything is mint. It's so much better than the ones that we had looked at online with all kinds of issues and cosmetic defects. This was a full-on production car for TV production, so it was in great condition, and we were super, super happy. We didn't film the buying process for privacy concerns, but that being said, he did slap on the magnet that made it look like an actual, detective car, which is awesome. But he had to remove those and take off all the police lights and stuff. So we ended up with a P71 without lights, but we were very, very happy with the condition that the car was in. And I decided I would be the one to take it home, and I would be the one to, add it to my stable, because I feel like it's a pretty useful car to have when you have kids. I mean, look at the back seats. They have like plastic covers just in case drug addicts or something throw up in your cop car. So I hit the road, and these are my first impressions.
So I am now in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine police car, which is really, really cool. Something that makes this different. So you guys probably know this is a Crown Victoria. So it's a Ford. Normally they came like 220, 230 horsepower, maybe about the same amount of torque. This one, in fact, came with a hopped up police engine. So it's more like 250 horsepower and almost 300 foot-pounds of torque. But they are much heavier, and I can feel that right now. This thing is a freaking boat. It's a boat. It's comfortable. Apparently the suspension is better. It's got a check engine light on it. Shit. Oh. You always see cop cars on like TV shows going like incredibly fast. Yeah, it's weird. I never had cop fantasies. Like a lot of people I knew growing up, they always wanted to be a police officer. That was like their thing. I don't know why they didn't become a police officer, but I've never had a cop fantasy, so this is not like a fantasy of, I always want to drive a cop car, but it's kind of weird because, you see them and you freak out. You hear that whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police, and you're like, shit, I'm dead. Especially as like an 18 to 20 something year old, when I was driving around in my Supra. Man, I used to get hassled like crazy, and I wasn't even driving badly. It's just you see a young man in a car, and it's like, that guy's doing something wrong, obviously. So it's weird to be in that position where I'm in that cop car driving it. And the funny thing is, when you're on the road with one of these cars, it's completely like debadged and everything. People still have this weird gut instinct to drive really slow around you because they think you're probably like an unmarked cop car. I find that hilarious. So we're gonna find out if that's true once I get on the highway. When we were looking at this thing, it actually had all of its lights and stuff in it, and the guy had to take them all out for us. It's still got a bunch of police features though. And I was actually told by him that we're gonna have a lot of good things to look at in terms of like secret things in the car. Weird stuff that only cop cars have that we're gonna discover. You feel a little bit of a pull. 250 horsepower in a car this size, this weight, is nothing. I mean, it's shit. But 300 foot-pounds of torque is not bad, and you do feel that initial pull. The brakes, they stop, but they are so mushy and gross feeling. And the steering, there is literally no feel. It feels like there's some feel to it, but actually it's just over boosted to hell. Welcome.
This is massive.
Yes.
This is amazing.
It's huge.
This is one of the best deals we could have ever got.
Yes,
This
for sure.
car is immaculate. Look at that.
You shut up back there!
This is super, super cool. We
Yeah.
honestly didn't think. Wonder what this is for.
I wouldn't mess with stuff.
There's all these cool little
Yet.
buttons.
Yet.
Yeah, we'll do that later. But I mean, if you look at the engine, it's in like perfect shape.
Yep.
This has been.
I mean, it's a TV show prop that was a cop car.
It's been looked after so well.
Yeah.
It's so nice and big inside. It's so roomy.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Very comfortable. Trust me. You'll have a chance to drive it later.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I mean, this is a learning process for us too. Like we just thought you could go out there and you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
And that's moderately true. But some of the people you meet, you never know. You never know if they're telling you the truth. But this thing has, credentials. It's
Not
good.
only
It's good.
Credentials. It's a fantastic car.
It's a great car.
It's not going to let us down. It's in great shape.
You're jinxing me right
No,
now.
honestly, it looks immaculate. When
Right.
you're driving on the road and I see it
Does
in the
it?
rearview mirror, it looks brand new.
Well, it's got to be on TV, right? It's got to look good.
It looks brand new. There's not like one chip on the paint.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna do you're gonna have to like guard me, and I'm gonna do some highway pulls, and we'll see how this thing does. Okay, so I am now getting on the highway ramp. We can finally test this thing out. I don't know, I kind of get the whole point of like making people feel nervous around me. That's kind of awesome. I kind of love this. I'll see if people slow it down though. Whoop whoop. Maybe if I make that sound all the time, like really loud. Okay, let us use this overdrive mode and start doing some pulls. All right, here we go. It's a little underwhelming. It's not as fast as I thought it was gonna be. It's definitely a V8. You can feel that it's a V8, but it's not like a rip your face off V8. It's got enough power to get up and go. I'll put it that way. But it just feels so heavy and solid, which I guess is a good thing. I mean, it's supposed to withstand more damage than your average Crown Vic, right? That being said, yeah, it's definitely lacking. It could use a little more beef, It's got a Windsor V8, 4.6 liter, so it's not big. It's not a big V8 in this thing. But yeah, it's okay. It's very comfortable. I'm really enjoying how comfortable this car is. But I mean, it's a Crown Vic. It's a big beefy Crown Vic. But I will say this. Pros, it handles way better than I thought it would. The tall seating position's pretty awesome. And it feels safe as shit. So solid. Like, I can't believe this thing is, how old is it? It's like 14, 15, or 13 years old now. This thing feels like it could have rolled off the lot today. It's got 147,000 miles on it, and it feels brand new. I'm not even joking. I guess they have to keep them in good shape for the TV shows and stuff. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice car. Yeah. Well, we're going to come up with some really cool stuff to do with this thing. And I hope you guys stay tuned for that. But my initial impressions are positive ones. Absolutely. See you at home.
Well, let's figure out what's up with this car. Let's call in Dr. Milk.
Here I am at your service. What do we got today? A P71 police cruiser, huh?
Absolutely. Now, let me just pop the hood here. And
Sure.
we can take a look at what we've got. Right.
Looks like a Mustang engine.
Actually looks really good.
Yeah.
I can see they've done a couple of modifications here. And this is probably for filming because this was a prop car. So they've got a battery disconnect. They've got a place where you can plug power in if you need it. But yeah, look, the engine's filthy. It needs a detail, but it's all there. Nothing's missing.
No, and it runs great.
Yeah,
You know that.
yeah, it runs fantastic. So there's nothing actually wrong with the car, except for the way the engine looks. And that's, I mean, if you look under a hood like this, immediately you think this car hasn't been taken care of properly, just because of the dust and the
Sure.
little bits of corrosion.
Been used.
Yeah, it's been used. Let's put it that way. So that's something that needs to be sorted out for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe a couple of these connections with the loose wires hanging around could be fixed up.
Sure.
You know, and of course it needs a general service. We don't know when the oil was last changed on this thing. Could have been like 100,000 miles ago. You never know.
True.
So we need oil, filters, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
See what else?
Well, that's a cheap fix.
There's something up there on the hood that needs to be taken care of.
Is that a
on
hood?
the roof.
The
What
roof.
am I saying? Beyond the hood, on the roof.
Yeah.
Let's take a closer look at that. Yeah, look, that's just going to get worse and worse. It looks like there was a tiny bit of surface rust that bubbled up there, and
That's
caused-
actually partly my fault.
Oh, it's your fault.
Well, because I was washing the car and it was already a chip, and when I sprayed it there, it just got worse.
Oh yeah, high pressure spray. Yeah, so it's flaking the
It's
paint.
crap paint.
off. Yeah. Well, that's fairly easy. All we need to do is sand it down and a little bit of touch-up paint, so that shouldn't be a big issue.
Right.
And honestly, that's it. I don't see anything else wrong with the car.
Check the tires real quick.
Yeah, all right. I mean, yeah, the tires are like an all-weather style. They're not really great for California.
Yeah,
They're-
it was an Oregon car, and
Yeah.
I was shooting in New York, so I needed that.
Yeah, it's like for snow and stuff. But they've still got plenty of tread and they look fairly healthy.
Right.
A little bit of dry rot. They could be changed, but it's unnecessary.
Right.
That's it, really. Honestly, like,
Well, that was an easy one.
yeah. What's your diagnosis, Dr. Milk?
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
私は無実です。あなたは間違った人を逮捕しました。
Next time on Worthless Whips, we break down the entire car to find out all the hidden Easter eggs that are in these police cars. These P71 Police Interceptors are chock full of Easter eggs and all kinds of goodies, so we're going to uncover every single one of them. We're going to put it to the test and see if it can actually live in the real world as a modern day police car. We're going to stack it up against a 300 plus horsepower Corvette to see if it can keep up and race through the canyon roads. I want to say thank you so much to the people on patreon.com/worthlesswhips that actually make this all possible. You guys vote on the cars, we do weekly updates, behind the scenes content, and it's a really awesome interactive community, so thank you so much for supporting us. We'll see you on the next Worthless Whips.